While they're getting situated, I'll let you know what's coming up next. Mindy Eisenberg, MHSA, comma, CIAYT. You can explain what all these initials mean later. Is the founder and director of Yoga Moves MS, a nonprofit 501c3 with the mission of improving the quality of life for individuals with MS, Parkinson's disease, and neuromuscular conditions. She is the author of Adaptive Yoga Moves Anybody, a book that I have, created for individuals with MS and neuromuscular conditions, and adaptive yoga cards, daily yoga moves for all ages and abilities. Mindy has provided yoga therapy to individuals with mobility challenges for over 18 years and thrives on building a strong, mighty community for her students and families. She is a qualified mindfulness-based stress reduction teacher, certified Buteyko breathing instructor, and a Reiki master. She created the widely acclaimed annual virtual holistic health and wellness forum for MS, which is happening right now, and presents for national MS, corporate, and yoga therapy organizations, and has trained hundreds of adaptive yoga instructors. She has a bachelor's of science from Northwestern University and a master of health services administration from the University of Michigan. So once again, please give Miss Mindy Eisenberg a huge round of applause, and of course, all the yogis and practitioners who are up here as well.
Like you're being invaded. Do some breathing. I just want to know, how many of you are ready to take the cold plunge? Raise your hand if you're taking the cold plunge. Oh my, this is way more than I thought. I'm scared cat. But if you guys do it with me, can we organize a group event, Tim? Oh, yes. All right. I'm going to need a lot of support for that one. All right. Well, we're getting situated up here, and I'm going to this thing. Hold on while we get situated, okay? Just breathe. I'm going to add on. I know Tim answered the question, but yoga breathing, there's so many different kinds of yoga breathing. There's not just one. So sometimes we breathe through our nose, sometimes we hold our breath, sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's fast. And that's actually how we can change our energy level, which is pretty cool because you've got that ability right within you. Sorry, we're redecorating. She's going to stay right there. She's got to come in more. Yep. You'll have a seat. All right. So, as you know, we have this mission of providing holistic health and wellness education. We also offer adaptive yoga classes, both virtually, online, recorded, and in person in Michigan. So today, we have vital students who are up here. All of our students who are Yoga Move students are vital. And we'd like to share all of their stories with you because every single one of the Yoga Move students has their own inspiring story to tell you. In fact, there's someone whose birthday is tomorrow. He knew I was going to do this, Tim. Can you guys all say happy birthday to Sean? Sean, stand up. That's all right, Sean. You don't have to stand up. I just had to haze him a little bit. All right, so today you're going to learn from 3 very special students about their experience with our community, adaptive yoga, and what it can do for you. We're going to show you a few poses that you will hopefully try and join with us to get moving. So first, I'd like to introduce George. We are so lucky. George, raise your hand so they all know it's George. George has been practicing yoga with Yoga Moves MS for 9 years. He was diagnosed with MS 23 years ago and lives by the acronym AID, Attitude, Diet, and Exercise. He says, adapt and you will achieve. From Jill, extraordinaire Yoga Moves teacher who is here. Jill, where are you? Up, she's over there. There she is. Give her a big clap. All our teachers, by the way, are extraordinary. She states that he is one of the most disciplined, determined, and positive students I've ever encountered. Nothing stops George. Look at that smile George has. Yoga has given him a vehicle for what he can do in the face of so many obstacles. He's truly an inspiration to everyone around him. His Troy class and his family just love him. Woo-hoo, George! He doesn't have a fan club. George is open to useful suggestions and will be the first to take action. He is on it with a can-do attitude. In fact, we need to congratulate George because he just finished his yoga teacher training. He's now a registered yoga instructor. George, we are thrilled that you are now a member of the Instructor Yoga Moves team. So, George, we have a few questions for you. I'm going to come over there. What aspects of the yoga have you found most beneficial for managing MS symptoms?
I've always had really tight hamstrings and spasticity in my legs and restless leg syndrome. So like the poses, like the a lot of poses like the forward fold, the leg stretch, the seated tree on the earth, anything that works on the hamstrings. So a lot of the poses. And I want to say really quick, thank you to our very own Marcia and Dory, because you inspired me. You inspired me to become a yoga instructor. And I thank you so much. And right back at you, Marcia. And so many other people inspired me. And Mindy, thank you for believing in me. And thank you, Jill, for all the help and all the yoga instructors in the Yoga Moves MS community. And most of all, I want to thank my wife, because everyone knows about the spoon theory, and the fatigue really kicks my butt. And there were a few times I came close to quitting, but my wife said, no, that ain't gonna happen. So yeah, so I want to thank everyone for coming here, and everybody that donates to the cause, and to you. I mean, you guys all mean so much to the community. Thank you. Well, I feel the connection because I know we're not alone. I mean, you know, we all share the same disease, and we're all here for each other to like help each other out. For example, like we want to talk about another, like moving to another a disease modifying treatment or some other kind of medication to help with our symptoms. So we're always here for each other to support each other. And you know, we're much more than just yoga buddies now. You know, we become friends, you know, and this Yoga Moves MS a community, it means so much to me and a lot of other people too.
Yay, George. Wouldn't you want George to be your teacher? All right. This is so fun. I love showing off students. But now I get to show off another teacher and a special student. You're both special. You're both special. So Kathy was diagnosed 29 years ago with MS and has been a student with Yoga Moves MS for 7 years. You may recognize her because she's famous known as the owner of Mother Mary's Toffee Company. We're blessed to have her in the bad class, which are a bunch of MS warriors and rebels who do work hard and practice hard in person during the Thursday classes. Kathy often arrives first to class with a positive attitude and a smile. I should tell you, she does it even when she'll say to me, I'm not feeling good. I'm not sure I'm going to make it to class. And then she shows up with that smile. She's hardworking, and you can see how strong she's become from her routine of Pilates, yoga, and physical therapy throughout the week. She was a regular in the beginning of starting our classes, and now she says emphatically that she will not miss it. She loves the stretching, but laughing is even more important to her. Tell you a little bit about Deborah, who's standing with Kathy. Deborah is an important member of the Yoga Moves instructor team and partners with Kathy one-on-one during and within our small group classes. She's been practicing yoga since 2006, embracing the mind, body, breath experience as a way to cultivate a strong physical, mental, and emotional state of being. We are fortunate that she has been a teacher with us for 12 years. She's one of the most competent teachers I know and soft-spoken, but don't let that fool you. Listen carefully, because she's smart, funny, and has a witty sense of humor. Okay, Miss Kathy, your questions. How do instructors and fellow participants accommodate and support each other individual needs and abilities during a class?
To me, the instructors are the most dedicated, supportive, and compassionate people that I know. They're the most dedicated, supportive, and compassionate people that I know. They work with the students, and no matter what the ability or disability, they work with you and only give positive information back to you. I need to give special recognition to my dear friend here, Deborah. She works with me exclusively, and I would not be where I am if it were not without her. So I want to thank all the teachers, and I think all the students in the room understand how important our teachers are, and I want to just thank everybody, all of them. So maybe we give a special round of applause for the teachers.
Yes, every single one of our teachers is a gem. And they all come with different backgrounds, by the way. Deborah has an MBA. You are a recreational therapist. Kathy's an engineer. Marcia was it respiratory therapy? Cardiovascular tech. Oh my goodness. Everybody's got a different background, these yoga teachers, but that's what makes it fun and creative. Kathy, what would you say to someone who is hesitant or unsure about trying yoga with Yoga Moves MS?
I was hesitant for a long time. I thought that I couldn't do yoga, or that everybody would make fun of me, or for whatever reason, I just didn't do it. When I started, I realized how wrong I had been. They are the most non-judgmental group of people, from teachers to other students. Everybody loves everybody. I love the teachers. I love the students, and we work together hand in hand. And I would highly recommend, just give it a try. You won't be disappointed.
Yay, Kathy. Thank you so much. And by the way, she shares toffee with us around the holidays. All right. Leah, right here. I've known Leah since the early years of her MS diagnosis, which is going on 17 years. She's a dedicated wife and mother, and we're all fortunate in the MS community and beyond that she serves as a leader and volunteer in her free time. In fact, she's one of the top fundraisers for the MS Society and has been a vital committee member of our Holistic Health and Wellness Forums for MS since their conception. She's one of the reasons that you are at this fabulous program today. Leah also helps us with Yoga Move's strategic planning, and we were proud to honor her last fall at our Party with a Purpose. Leah strives toward finding that balance between the symptoms of MS, such as pain and fatigue, the need for rest and recover, and the unpredictability of MS. With perseverance and a big heart, Leah always wants to give more, and she's here to share with you today. We have a question for Leah. Do you find that sharing experiences and tips with others in the class enhances your journey with MS? How would you say it does?
I mean, it's one of the special gifts that the Yoga Moves MS classes provide. It's what gets me out of bed on the Thursday and go to the bad class. I could attend.
That bad class.
They're
They're
bad
Are they really bad?
No, they're not. They're
Oh,
great.
come on. They love being called bad. You got to say, yeah.
Okay,
They earn
all
their
right,
reputation.
bad. But I could probably go and suffer through a regular yoga class. But when I walk into Yoga Moves, I don't, it's a safe space. You know, how many of you walk into a space and people say to you, how are you doing? And, you know, you say, yeah, I'm great, because you don't want to start that long list. Well, in these classes, I can walk in and I'll see that someone's not doing well. And just through the conversation of talking with someone that's had shared struggles and challenges as I can is just a pick me up. It's, you know, going in and having Mindy talk in the beginning and saying, you know, what do we want to work on today? And she talks about pain and she's like, who's in pain? You know, and Sean and I both raise our hands. You know, I'm not alone. I'm experiencing the same things. MS, as you all know, is a disease where, you know, you probably don't share the same symptoms as the person that you know with MS. But in these classes, you know, you're encouraged to share. You're encouraged to vent. You're encouraged. The second reason I really like the classes is because we start out as a class starting the regular yoga moves, but then the teachers help us to individually work on what we're experiencing right now. If I'm having pain in my legs, but yet George is having pain or having problems with spasms, they'll give us different yoga moves to work on those. And the benefit for me is I can go home then and continue working on them because I have the blocks, I have the mat. It's very easy to do that. So that's another reason. The other thing is Yoga Moves classes are really accessible in all parts of Southeast Michigan. So you'll check out the website, and just as Kathy said, I would definitely stop thinking about it and actually take a chance and do it. It's so exciting when we have a new student come into the bad class, which we just did. And he was actually a yogi. And he started out, you know, he was really tight. By the end of the class, Kathy had him doing what pose?
What was that pose, Mark?
What was he doing at that? I mean, just some incredible pose. And you could see how excited he was that he could actually go back and do a pose that he wouldn't imagine. And you could just see he was back for, you know, to continue the classes.
Thank you, Leah. That was beautiful. Kathy wants to say one more thing. We don't want her not to sleep. She needs to say it.
The last thing I'd like to say is that yoga is not just about the practice of yoga. When you leave there, you feel like you are lifted both physically and mentally. It is the very best medicine you can take. and there's no adverse side effects.
Well, we'd like to do a little bit of moving before we move on with any questions. Because you guys have been sitting a while, right? So you're going to see how we have 3 different students in 3 different bodies who are going to do variations on the same movement. And we hope that you're going to do it with us, right? Excellent. Hugh says excellent. All right. Yeah. All right. So we're going to do a sun salute. You guys can do this with us. Stand up, sit down, do whatever. You guys online too. You're not out of this just because we can't see you. So yoga's about breathing. Let's take our arms up overhead without knocking your arms into somebody or something. Awesome. And then exhale. You're going to take your hands to your hips. Lean your spine forward. Good. Take your hands to your thighs. If you're standing, bend your knees, round your spine for cat pose. And then you're going to inhale and circle your shoulders up and back. And maybe lift your arms forward. Beautiful. Push down through your feet, whether you're seated or you're standing. Inhale, rise up. Awesome. Exhale, hands at your heart. That is a sun salute. We salute you. All right. One more pose. One more pose. It's a warrior pose. So this can be done seated or standing. So you're going to take your feet wide. I know you guys are in street clothes, but it's okay. It's okay. Feet are wide. Push your feet down like you mean it. Like you mean it. Then you're going to turn your right toes out. Yep, you're going to bend your knee over your right ankle and heel. You are strong warriors. Strong MS warriors. Then extend your arms out in a T, one or both arms. Good. Are you breathing? I'm not sure you guys are breathing. Take an inhale and an exhale. Such strength, such strength. I'm feeling it through the internet and in this room. All right, come on out of it. Straighten the right leg. Yeah, bring your feet together. I saw that, a little wiggle. You might jiggle your hips around. You know what? We can't be lopsided. You're going to have to do the other side. I said one pose, but we have to do the other side. So big, wide stance. Big, wide stance. And then you're going to take your left toes out towards the left and bend your left knee over the ankle and heel. Now, notice there's 3 different poses here. They're all warrior variations. They're all perfect. There's either everything is perfect in yoga or nothing is. And everything is perfect. You are perfect in your warrior poses. Gaze over your left fingertips like you mean it. Like you mean it. You're peaceful warriors. You're peaceful. You could attack, but you're not going to because you're peaceful. Take a breath in and a breath out. Bring your feet back forward and towards each other. So how about it? Let's say thank you to namaste to our 3 wonderful special students that came up here today. Look at George. He's got this huge smile. Any questions? Is there a second mic? No. Any questions in the audience, online or in this room? How many of you are going to start doing adaptive yoga? You better raise your hands. Don't just sit there. I'm not kidding. You're not getting dessert unless you raise your hands. I am not kidding. Everybody raise their hands up. Yes, you can do it. You can do it.
Caregivers are encouraged to come. The only problem is you can't sit on the sidelines. You have to join in. So be ready to join in our class.
Nobody sits on the sidelines. Hey, are you guys all breathing? Yes, you are? Well, then you're already doing the foundation of yoga. We'll see you in class, right, Sean? You guys can all come and sing happy birthday to Sean tomorrow.
Let's give them all another round of applause, please. Or should we say namaste? Namaste. Oh, and by the way, once the shoes come off, they're not going back on. I have MS, so